Biggest food shortage in 40 years. Warnings to get ready and prepare for rice shortage and things could get worse. Due to reported climate crisis could contribute to a global food shortage that will be here before you know it. And we only have a few days left until October 4th and the planned nationwide emergency alert test that even local state governments are telling everyone that you do not need to take any action. Just be aware. I have been told to get ready for lockdowns on several occasions, and the numbers just keep stacking up now with 3,000 banks closed in the last year alone, with chilling news coming out of Washington just days before the government shuts down, and their very concerning warning for those on fixed income wondering what happens to Social Security payments if the government shuts down. Is your money safe? Should you run to the banks now before it's too late? While states are going to look at coming after food stamp recipients who they say have gotten overpayments and they want their money back. And it's a lot of money too. And new restrictions placed on residents in Richmond, Virginia, that is only going to have a much bigger impact on the affordable housing crisis. And further north, up the East Coast in New York, judge finds Donald Trump liable for fraud just ahead of the second Republican presidential debate. And speaking of fraud, Chase Bank is blocking crypto payments, citing fraud scams. BitBoy Crypto Ben Armstrong got arrested over arguments about a stolen Lamborghini while having in his possession a loaded firearm.
To Carlos's house. This is where Carlos lives, guys. I am live streaming from Carlos's house. Carlos has my Lamborghini right here in his garage. So today, guys, I'm gonna be live streaming and I'm gonna be telling the entire story of Carlos Diaz, who Carlos Diaz is. I'm gonna be talking about all the people he's affiliated with. I'm gonna be talking about how he got into my building. I'm gonna talk about all of it. Hope you guys are ready. He just answered the door. So I know this is him for sure, right here. I'm not scared of you, Carlos. I'm not scared. Guys, let me tell you, are you ready? I'm gone out of town. I'm out of town. What? Because I just found out today. You want to let him know. Okay, so he buys all this money from Master P. Up all this is negotiate. But how's it going?
Stop.
Oh, stop! I couldn't hear.
You have a weapon on you.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So
I have one in my vehicle, but I do not have a weapon on me.
Okay.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Take out your whatever fanny pack.
Now, sorry, I reached too fast. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Take out your
Sorry.
fanny pack.
Okay.
Put your phone down.
Okay.
Put
Okay.
your phone down.
Okay. I'll put the phone down. Okay.
Put the phone.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Put the phone down.
Put the fanny pack down.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on? This man inside of this house.
Actually, he's gonna check you real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the weapons.
I'm sorry. I have a. Okay. Okay. Yep. No weapons. No
Where
weapons.
in the car is your gun?
It's in the back seat.
Back seat?
Yep.
Is anybody else in the car?
Yes, there's somebody in the car.
Who's in the car? Who?
What's that?
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Yes.
Okay. Let's.
Who's in your car?
Who's in my car?
Who's in your truck, sir?
Cassie is in my car. Cassie's in my
All
truck.
right, Cassie.
Cassie's in my truck. My wife knows that we're here, by the way. She knows we came to do this. But my wife is aware. So we're live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
We've got about 2,500 people watching. So Cassie is a girl I had an affair with. She's involved in the situation with me and this guy here. My wife knows. We were just at my daughter's tennis match. Cassie and I have came over here because this man is extorting me. He's death threatening me. He stole my Lamborghini. My Lamborghini is in his garage right now. In his garage.
All right, get over here.
Okay, absolutely. Okay.
Black Lives Matter admits fundraiser fraud, and gold. The torture continues while they are bullish on crypto, and predictions put XRP price at $250. All that and more of everything that you need to know so that you can get ready, be prepared, stock up and stockpile now before it's too late. Protect you and your family and know what's coming our way so that you have plenty of time to stay out of harm's way. And first up on the list here is what some of you have been sending me links to watch other YouTube videos about. And this is about some rather serious claims of an emergency food grazing authorization and it being a new name for describing a food shortage, and how the government has declared food emergencies in at least 6 states so far. And the title of the August 7th YouTube video reads, "Feds declare food emergency, warning to stock up now." And the video stated the federal government has just declared a major food shortage emergency in multiple states and major emergency 40% reduction in what we are dealing with right now, at least 40%. And this has been declared in 6 different states that I can find so far, end quote. So the video was viewed more than 20,000 times on YouTube and has been shared more than 100 times on Facebook in just 10 days, according to CrowdTangle, a social media analytics tool. Another version of the video was viewed more than 10,000 times on Facebook before being taken down. However, there is some skepticism surrounding the validity of such claims of federal government declarations and how the video appears to be confusing grazing and haying emergencies in parts of some states with a likely food shortage. But what do you guys think? Have you heard of any federal agency with oversight of emergencies, food production, or food safety having made declarations of food shortages or emergency as of late? And after further examination, the video does not specify what body would declare a food shortage or emergency, and neither the FDA nor FEMA were aware of any such shortages and have not yet made any declarations. But also followed up with Jeremy Edwards, a spokesperson for FEMA, who said the agency does not declare food emergencies. So there's that. But let me know if you've seen this video about grazing emergencies and food shortages. Now, I do know that grazing emergencies can be declared due to drought conditions or a 40% reduction in forage production for livestock, allowing emergency grazing and haying on lands the owners have otherwise agreed to set aside for conservation through a federally funded program. And the video lists 6 states, which include Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Missouri, and Nebraska, all of which had multiple counties that qualify for emergency haying or grazing at the time of the video. Additionally, there were mentions of a new requirement that I hadn't heard of until now about how the USDA is requiring people to register home gardens so they can keep track of them. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, please tell me you have begun to, or at least plan to prepare as the cost of groceries continues to go up. And there is a list of foods that will soon be in short supply. So stock up now, or at least begin to find alternatives. So in summary, just last year, we experienced significant food shortages, particularly in categories like eggs and baby formula. The effects are likely to continue through 2023 and into 2024. So a list of key items we should consider stocking up on include corn, bread, vegetable oil, canola, sunflower, soybean, and palm oil, baby formula, champagne even, and canned pet food. The shortage of corn and wheat is a concern due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, a major producer of these grains. And although the U.S. a significant producer of corn and wheat ourselves, we may see farmers who need to redirect more of its production from animal feed to consumption to mitigate shortages. The situation calls for obvious government intervention and market adjustments to ensure adequate food supply, but I will likely not be holding my breath on that one. And the problems we face in this country with food shortages, food insecurities, and high and inflated food prices is only exacerbated by poorly run government programs that are set to shut down in just a few days. However, the latest news is just another blow to the lower income families trying to survive in this economy. And they just released the latest news about how states would be forced to recover a staggering $11 billion in food stamp overpayments under a proposed law. So basically, a newly proposed law aims to compel states to recover billions of dollars from waste and fraud in the federal food stamps program that were overlooked during the COVID-19 pandemic. Federal data from 2022 reveals an alarming $11 billion in overpayments to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, recipients, a significant increase from the $3.4 billion in 2019. And around 80% of these overpayments resulted from errors made by state agencies. The bill, proposed by Senator Joni Ernst, Republican of Iowa, would mandate states to reclaim these overpayments and remit owed amounts to the federal government. It would also necessitate reporting all SNAP payment errors regardless of the amount. And this comes after the surge in food stamp spending and enrollment during the pandemic, notably in states like New York, underscores the need for enhanced program integrity to curb fraud and ensure resources reach those genuinely in need, like those standing and waiting in line at local food banks. Food banks who are saying they are experiencing the biggest food shortage in 40 years and are in desperate need of donations. Now, food is a necessity for everyone. And in South Georgia, one food bank is seeing a food shortage that hasn't been as bad in decades.
Sure. Jim, we're experiencing the biggest food shortage we have in the 40 years of food banking. And it's pandemic related. It's really a number of causes. And rapid inflation is affecting a lot of people, a lot of our donors as well. So it's really just a perfect storm.
And perhaps we should all be getting ready and prepared for a worldwide climate crisis that could contribute to a global food shortage, sparking concerns about a potential global food shortage by 2050 that have been raised by a Dr. Carrie Fowler, Joe Biden's special envoy for food security. With factors contributing to this potential crisis, including declining crop yields, inadequate investment in agricultural research, and trade disruptions. And studies indicate that the world needs to increase food production by at least 50 to 60% to meet the needs of a growing population, but crop yields are projected to decline due to global heating. Dr. Fowler emphasized the importance of increased investment in agricultural research, citing the need for long-term moonshot projects and how the impact of supply chain disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, high fertilizer prices, and low grain supplies has exacerbated the existing crisis. And in countries like Kenya, the price of rice surged due to higher fertilizer prices and prolonged drought in the Horn of Africa, reducing local production. Cheap rice imports from India helped to bridge the gap, particularly benefiting low-income residents in Nairobi, Kiberia slums. However, India's decision to ban certain rice shipments to manage domestic prices has caused a significant impact, and the going rate of a 25-kilogram bag of rice in Kenya has increased by approximately 20% since June, rising from about $14 to $18. And so, as you can see, this move by India has created a substantial shortfall of around 9.5 million metric tons of rice, equivalent to roughly a fifth of global exports, affecting people worldwide who depend on rice. All right, folks, now I want you to all listen up and pay close attention because this is all really important and will have a major impact on your money, your income, taxes, savings, retirement, investments, and more importantly, the next 4.5 years, give or take. So if you're still watching at this point, please hit the join button down below and connect with us and become a part of our community. As a channel member, you will gain access to exclusive perks, members-only content, members-only live streams, and giveaways. Plus, you get really cool additions to your YouTube username so that everyone knows you're a part of the family and a supporter of the channel and the truth. Thank you all so much for always watching, liking, and sharing my videos. Okay, so now Bankruptcy Watch. Now, I told y'all this was coming, and now here it is. Rite Aid, a struggling pharmacy chain, is facing the possibility of closing as many as 500 stores across 17 states and mulling a Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. The company has a heavy debt burden of over $3.3 billion and is grappling with shifts in population and work patterns. Despite the rise of e-commerce, it's emphasized that retail failures and bankruptcies cannot solely be attributed to digital sales, with e-commerce accounting for 14.7% of total retail sales in the second quarter of 2023. Population shifts and changes in consumer behavior are significant factors impacting the retail industry, as well as poor government policy and relaxed positions and weakening stance on crime, theft, shrink, and violence. Just like we discussed last night with the recent announcement of Target, a mega retailer with over 2,000 stores having just announced they will be closing down stores in just a few days. Perhaps come November 2024, we can begin to recover from this Build Back Better disaster, but we'll talk more about that in just a moment. And another hit to our economy, wages and workforce, jobs and unemployment, and unfortunately more bad news for businesses and a cut to available foods in lower priced neighborhoods, Burger King closes store doors abruptly and indefinitely. And the future of the store is uncertain after a Burger King location in Berea, Kentucky is set to close indefinitely as the property owner, EG America, has sold the adjoining Minute Mart to convenience store chain Casey's. The closure's future remains uncertain, with the possibility of another franchise reopening the restaurant in the future. And this closure is part of a series of closures by Burger King across the country this year. And you remember how back in May, Restaurant Brands International, RBI, Burger King's parent company, announced plans for mass closures to protect the brand, with as many as 400 locations potentially closing by the end of the year. And earlier this year, 2 Burger King franchisees declared bankruptcy, resulting in several closures across multiple states. So between the stores, the pharmacies, the restaurants, the retailers, and the trucking companies all closing down and filing bankruptcy, I would definitely be paying very close attention to my investments portfolios to make sure I'm not too heavily weighted in any of these potential 401k retirement killers as they are beginning to crumble. I would have a talk with my financial advisor and funds manager ASAP before it's too late and all of the hard-earned money and employer match contributions are gone. And speaking of protecting, planning, prepping, and keeping your money safe, U.S. banks closed 3,000 branches last year. And forecasts and future predictions will blow you away. So folks, please, you may want to sit down for this. So last year, we saw 3,000 U.S. bank branches close as financial institutions sought to combat competition from fintech and digital banks and keep up with the technological advancements. This trend, reminiscent of the wave of closures in 2008, is expected to persist due to stiff competition for deposits and younger customers from online banks, fintech companies, and major tech players. And the biggest and Wall Street's largest major banks like JP Morgan Chase led in bank branch closures while investing in online technology, reflecting the industry's shift towards digital offerings and improved banking tech that appeals to consumers, prompting the closure of traditional brick and mortar locations. And as we all know, October 4th is a big day. And I hope you're all prepared to block the attempted signal that they plan to broadcast and pay very close attention to the effective means of warning that they are spreading to the public. As I have read from the city of Raleigh, North Carolina, and posted on their official government website, where they just released information days ago. In summary, a nationwide emergency alert test is scheduled for October 4th, 2023, organized by FEMA and the FCC, and residents in the city of Raleigh and across the U.S. are all part of this test, whether they consent or not. The test will encompass 2 parts, one being an emergency alert system, EAS, test for radio and television, and 2, a wireless emergency alert or WEA test for cell phones that are not protected. And the EAS test will last about 1 minute and will be broadcasted via various platforms. The WEA test will broadcast a message to all consumer cell phones in either English or Spanish, depending on language setting. And the purpose of this emergency test is to ensure that the alert systems effectively warn the public about future or planned future emergencies, especially on a national level. The test message will state that it is a nationwide test and no action is required by the public. But I will say that if you receive the text message on your phone, then you know they got you. Oh, and it appears that Mark Zuckerberg is potentially looking to target children with the latest from Facebook, Meta. And the UK government is intensifying pressure on Meta, formerly Facebook, to avoid implementing end-to-end encryption or E2EE on Facebook Messenger and Instagram without unspecified safety measures. These safety measures are demanded to allow law enforcement to detect child sexual abuse material or CSAM while still protecting user privacy. However, Meta is strongly opposed to client-side scanning on E2EE and has been working on their own alternative safety measures. Yet the debate is part of the ongoing conflict between privacy advocates and authorities seeking access for law enforcement purposes. But wait, there's more. And now there is an even more important date to mark in your calendars, and that is October 16th. So just less than 2 weeks after this nationwide alert, starting October 16th, Chase UK Bank to block crypto payments, citing fraud, scams, and the bank will decline customer attempts to make payments related to crypto assets via a debit card or outgoing bank transfers. So, in summary, Chase UK, a major banking institution, has announced a ban on payments related to crypto assets through debit cards or ongoing bank transfers for its customers starting from October 16. And the bank aims to prevent potential fraud and scams associated with cryptocurrency transactions by doing so. Customers have been advised to use alternative banks or providers if they wish to invest in cryptocurrencies, and the move follows a trend in the UK where several banks have restricted or blocked customer access to crypto-related services due to concerns about fraudulent activities in the crypto space. Meanwhile, we should pay close attention to the latest and how exclusive data shows Bitcoin miners beef up Texas operations ahead of extinction level event. So these Bitcoin miners like Kevin Zhang of Foundry are preparing for the next halving event in April 2024, or halving, and this event reduces the mining reward by 50%, posing a significant challenge for miners and their revenues. So despite potential risks, Foundry is expanding its operations and engaging in machine sales, deployment, and logistics to endure the halving. And Texas has become a hub for Bitcoin mining due to its supportive regulatory environment and availability of clean energy. Plus, the state now leads in the Bitcoin mining hash rate in the US. Other states have seen shifts in their mining activity, with some gaining and others losing prominence. So despite market fluctuations and regulatory scrutiny, the total US Bitcoin hash rate has more than doubled since the end of 2021, propelled by institutional entry into the space. However, the mining business has become less lucrative compared to Bitcoin's peak in November of 2021. The aggregate market capitalization of US listed miners has also fluctuated, with companies like Riot experiencing significant declines. And some crypto analysts are bullish on prediction that puts XRP price at $250. For instance, like the crypto analyst Oxacorn has made a bullish prediction for XRP, foreseeing its price potentially reaching $250. The analyst draws parallels between the current market cycle and the 2015 market cycle, suggesting a significant rally for XRP. If Bitcoin's price hits $215,000, the analyst envisions XRP initially reaching $43 and eventually surging to $250, allowing a similar trajectory to the 2015-2017 market cycle. The XRP community is definitely looking forward to Ripple's celebration event, which could boost confidence and positively impact XRP's price. Recently, XRP has shown bullish momentum, surpassing the 50 cents mark resistance and experiencing a notable spike in daily trading volume. And breaking from the street crypto, overtaking gold, the Bitcoin price will hit $700,000. A crypto market analyst outlines how Bitcoin, the superior store of value, can overtake gold's market cap and hit a $700,000 price by 2031. And how the latest from a crypto market analyst suggests that Bitcoin could surpass gold in market capitalization, potentially reaching a price of $700,000 by 2031. And the analyst highlights Bitcoin's superiority over gold in terms of ease of transportation, security, and usability, making it a better store of value and medium of exchange. Bitcoin's scarcity and potential to disrupt gold's position as a store of value drive the prediction. Comparing the market capitalization of gold and Bitcoin, the analyst envisions each Bitcoin being worth over $650K. That is, if Bitcoin's market cap matches gold's. The analyst emphasizes the importance of buying and accumulating Bitcoin now for potential future gains. The prediction is supported by the growing interest from major financial institutions and regulators in Bitcoin, suggesting its increasing recognition as a legitimate digital currency and store of value. And all this while gold, the torture continues. And how, according to Kitco, the price movements of gold, which highlight the frustrations and unpredictable nature of its recent trends, producing the gold price tease torture, or the GPTT, and how a review of various economic metrics, the state of the stock market, and the potential rise in the Federal Reserve's neutral rate, there's emphasis on the perplexing nature of the precious metals market and its divergence from traditional expectations. Kitco also offers a comedic, humorous, and entertaining take on the challenges of understanding and predicting gold price movements, and I'd say that it is definitely worth a read if you have the time. And for the sake of time and keeping these news updates and important information videos short, I will link more for you all to check out in the description and in the pinned comment below about what to watch out for in the second Republican presidential debate. Donald Trump found liable for fraud by New York judge. Bristol Black Lives Matter march organizers admits fundraiser fraud. Also, what happens to Social Security payments if the government shuts down? How Richmond places restrictions on Airbnb short-term rentals, and a special find: I got my tiny home on Craigslist for $2,700. Remember, folks, please hit the join button and connect with us and become part of our community and our family. And as a channel member, you will get access to exclusive perks, members-only content, members-only live streams, and giveaways. Plus, you get really cool additions to your YouTube username so that everybody knows you're part of the family and a supporter of the channel and the truth. Thank you all for watching, liking, and always sharing my videos. Please stay safe, stay informed, and stay tuned. I will be back very, very soon with another informative update. Until then, take care. Bye for now.